And let's start off with the latest as far as Sonia Gandhi's questioning in the National Herald case is concerned. Sonia Gandhi has now reached the Enforcement Directorate office in the national capital. This is the second day of questioning and the ED to begin interrogating Sonia Gandhi at this point in time. Remember, Congress has also planned massive show of strength and protests pan-India as well. This has been something. This is round 2, in fact, of Sonia's questioning that is going to take place now. Those are the details here coming in. Aishwarya is joining us for more details. Aishwarya, what can you tell us at this point in time?
Well, as far as Sonia Gandhi is concerned, she will be appearing before Enforcement Directorate for the second time, and therefore looking at what happened earlier during the first round of interrogation by Sonia Gandhi. There were protests that was planned throughout the country, and especially in Delhi, we have witnessed heavy violence that took place as well, and therefore the reason perhaps in these pictures you can clearly see that there has been heavy barricading that has been done. This is the stretch of the AICC headquarters, and nobody apart from the leaders who are arriving here are being allowed to go inside, and therefore now perhaps the police have started detaining the Congress leaders as well. There has been several Congress workers who are here, and there you can see the police are now taking them away, and they are protesting. Let's listen into what they have to say. लगातार दूसरी बार सोनिया गांधी को आज ईडी क्वेश्चन करने वाली है. आप लोग यहाँ पर प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे हैं शांतिपूर्ण तरीके से. आपने कहा था कि आप लोग प्रोटेस्ट करेंगे और इसीलिए आप लोग इकट्ठे हुए थे. क्या कुछ कहेंगे?
देखिए, शांतिपूर्ण ही कर रहे हैं. पुलिस ने कहा अंदर बैठ जाओ, गिरफ्तारी दे दो. हमने गिरफ्तारी दे दी. इससे बड़ी शांतिपूर्ण क्या हो सकता है? हमारी नेता जिसने अपना पति खो दिया, अपनी सास खो दी, भारत को बनाया, उसके साथ अत्याचार कर रही है सरकार. ये मालिया उलिया नहीं दिख रहे हैं. और हमारी नेता सोनिया गांधी, राहुल गांधी ने कह दिया 100 बार बुलाएंगे हम जाएंगे. हमने भारत बनाया, हम डरने वाले नहीं है, और आपकी गिद्दड़ धमकी से हम नहीं डरेंगे. हम हमेशा भारत के लड़ेंगे, भारत के लोगों की लड़ेंगे, किसान की रक्षा करेंगे, जवान की रक्षा करेंगे. इनके जो देश बेचने वाला कार्यक्रम है उसका विरोध करेंगे, ये तय है.
देखिए, बीजेपी लगातार ये कह रही है कि आप सवालों से भाग रहे हैं. सोनिया गांधी, राहुल गांधी सवालों से
सुबह जाते हैं, रात को 12 बजे छोड़ रहे हैं. सवाल तो उन पर नहीं खत्म हो गए हैं. हमारे नेता राहुल गांधी 12 बजे छोड़े हैं. सोनिया गांधी बीमार होते भी जा रही है, सवाल के जवाब दे रही है. अब जो ये सवाल जबरदस्ती कहना चाह रहे हैं कि कांग्रेस ने देश बेच दिया, वो कैसे जवाब देंगे? ये तो देश तो इन्होंने बेचा, इसका जवाब सरकार ही देगी.
So there you heard from the Congress workers who have now been detained here outside the AICC headquarters, and they will be taken away from here. Clearly, the Congress leaders, when we spoke to them, have stated that this is, what the Congress leaders have time and again went to the Enforcement Directorate and the investigative agencies, and they have fully supported whatsoever has been questioned, whether it is Rahul Gandhi, 50 hours of questioning, or it is Sonia Gandhi. Whenever they have been asked, they went and answered to the investigative agencies. Even when we spoke early in the morning to Robert Vadra, he clearly stated that BJP do not wanted to focus on the key issues, or they do not wanted to speak over the issue of Nupur Sharma, but they wanted to trouble the Gandhi family, and therefore perhaps the protest is underway here in the national capital as well. Clearly you can see this is the Akbar Road which leads to the AICC headquarters, and police have placed heavy barricading over here, and no one apart from the Congress leaders who wanted to go inside the AICC headquarters are being allowed. The Congress leaders in fact went on to say that it is the first time in the history that they are witnessing such kind of scenes outside the Congress headquarters, where their own leaders who wanted to go inside the Congress office, they are not allowed, and therefore the reason perhaps they have to travel almost 1 kilometer. Ajay Makhan, while addressing the press conference as well, said that just not outside outside the Congress headquarters, but also inside the parliament as well. The Congress member of parliament will be protesting, and it will be decided on how large the scale would be, because yesterday, remember, in the parliament as well, when the Congress member of parliaments were protesting, they were suspended by Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla. They were warned earlier, but they were suspended. So what big will be the scale inside the parliament is something which remains to see. But certainly outside the AICC headquarters, as Sonia Gandhi in few minutes from now is about to go from this very location towards the Enforcement Directorate office. Priyanka Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi will be accompanying her. As far as the second round of questioning is concerned, there are water cannons which have been placed, barricadings. After barricadings, layers of barricadings also placed at the Akbar Road, and the leaders who wanted to go are walking from this very path, the stretch of Akbar Road towards the AICC office, clearly stating that it's the political vendetta of the Bharatiya Janata Party, and they just wanted to trouble the Gandhi family, and therefore the Congress will continue its protest all across the country, but it would be peaceful.
All right, Aishwarya, do stay on with us. Let's also talk about what the Congress has said, once again lashing out at the central government for playing vendetta politics. Congress, in fact, accused BJP of making false claims that PM Modi, as Gujarat Chief Minister, appeared before an SIT probing Gujarat riots without creating any issues. Now, countering this, Congress said that UPA government had never summoned Modi, who was the then CM of Gujarat, through any agency or SIT. Also went on to say that BJP plastered slogans across Gujarat against the then UPA government. Aishwarya, this, of course, war of words as well, continuing between both sides over the issue of whether or not Modi was summoned by the then UPA government.
Well, certainly, this is what the Congress has to say, that they had never, ever summoned Amit Shah and Prime Minister, sir. The Congress has been saying that at the time of UPA, they have never summoned Home Minister Amit Shah at that time when he was the Minister in Gujarat government, or Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And this is something that the BJP is doing. Certainly, this is what the Congress is witnessing for the very first time.
See, for the last 7-8 years, there has been a continuous attempt to use agencies to suppress the voice of the opposition. And our opposition is not just about one individual or one party, but in principle, these agencies are not supposed to be only targeting the opposition leaders. They have other jobs to do. But to politically use them and to suppress the voice of the opposition, that's what we are against.
So, but why protest at such a large level?
Aisa hai, look at how they've reacted. The amount of police deployed at the headquarters. This has never happened before. And this is our party office. If we want to protest or do an agitation because we feel it's wrong, they should allow us to do that. That also they've stopped. To my mind, this is something that's now being seen by the whole country. And we are opposed in principle for the misuse that they're doing of the agencies.
Well, that was Sachin Pilot, the senior Congress leader, speaking exclusively to Mirror Now. He's clearly stating that, there are, in the history, they have not seen such barricadings and opposition leaders so much targeted. They do not want to speak on key issues. Certainly, this is why the reason protesting is something which is a democratic right for the Congress leaders. But what the BJP is doing is going beyond the lines and certainly stopping such Congress leaders who wanted to go inside their own offices, and therefore, they are protesting outside the headquarters. But certainly, coming back to your question of what the Congress have been alleging, that they have never summoned during the UPA government back then when Narendra Modi was Chief Minister, or Amit Shah. Certainly, these are the remarks that Congress had been giving, but it is the BJP who is clearly stating that if there are investigations which are taking place, why Congress is fearing and why such huge drama is being created over investigation. If it is going on, then just go and answer those questions to the investigative agencies if they are summoning the top Congress leaders, because there have been certain documents that the ED had recovered, of course, in this National Herald case, and therefore the reason perhaps Sonia Gandhi is being questioned second time in front of the investigative agency.
Absolutely. Aishwarya, I request you to stay on with us for a bit more time. We're getting in some breaking news as well.